You are Locked On Astros Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Houston on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Did you guys have fun? Well, guess what? I didn't have fun because the Astros went out there and absolutely stunk it up tonight as Justin Verlander set things up for a big old fat stinker for the Astros tonight as he gave up a whopping 8 runs across 3 innings. The Astros bats tried to do a little bit of something, of course, throughout the baseball game, but a sour end to what was a very good series overall because you got a win of a series victory against a playoff team in the National League, but not a fun night tonight for the Houston Astros. Hello and welcome to the Locked On Astros Postcast here tonight. Thanks for sticking it out and wanting to come hang out after the Astros got beat down. I appreciate you guys that are here tonight. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. That way you get notified of everything we do. We're capping off our very busy weekend on this channel. We've had 4 shows across the last 2 days. So that's a good thing, of course, because, well, you know, that means the Astros, that means that we've got a lot of games going on in the city of Houston. It's exactly what we did again today. So let's talk, unfortunately, as we start this thing off real quick before we do that, I want to remind you guys tonight's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Justin Verlander. I know that they've said a lot of the things that you're going to say to protect your franchise icon. He is a franchise icon. He's got 2 World Series trophies. He's got a couple Cy Youngs here. He's tossed a no-hitter. He's probably the greatest in-season trade that this franchise ever made. I shouldn't say that. They've made some other great trades. Alvarez, Jordan was a in-season trade. Bagwell was an in-season trade. Like, for the sprint that it was at that time. That's about as good as it gets. You know, I think that like I said, they've said a lot of the things that are nice for him that are going to protect him a little bit when it comes to, it's like a spring training starts. He's still building up, which is, can all be accurate. I get that. But it's also not telling the whole story at this point. He wasn't unbelievable before he got hurt this year. He had some starts that were good, but he wasn't crisp all the time and just fantastic. Here's the facts. 41-year-old pitcher that will be 42 during spring training next year. He's not going to be here. I've gone so back and forth. My roller coaster of emotions for him, it definitely exists because, I do, for me, want to see him end up finishing his career with the Astros. But, at some point, you have to start acknowledging what is happening in front of you. And what's happening in front of you is he's losing it. He's becoming, I put it right there on the screen. It says the Justin Verlander issue. The only reason I didn't put problems because the word problem's too long and I run out of space for that box. But it's a problem. The man is 3-6 with a 5.3 ERA this season. He's not made a lot of starts. I get that. But 3-6 with a 5.30 ERA and 14 starts. I'm telling you, right now it looks like a freaking miracle that the option's not going to vest for next year. And then I'm not going to play the trade was the trade. Sucks. They could have avoided all this by just paying him money and not giving up prospects. It's going to turn out when we look back on it, the second time that they traded for him was a bad trade. He helped in the postseason last year. He was actually good in the postseason last year. But, you gave up your 2 top prospects, 2 of your top prospects overall, which I just pulled it up. Clifford has had a just atrocious year in the minor leagues in terms of hitting for anything. He struck out 152 times, and he's hitting 226 across single A and double A. Drew Gilbert has oh, God. He's had a miserable year, too. He's been hurt, it looks like. He only played 48 games. 188, 8 home runs. So, I mean, look, they're prospects for a reason. And I get that. Like, you know, they're not playing big league baseball. There's no guarantee that those guys ever hit. Still doesn't mean that it was a good trade. I hate it. I hate that this could possibly be how it ends. Because when you look back on it, you kind of wish that you could just make 2022 the end for him. Because 2022 went out with a World Series and another Cy Young Award. This isn't the guy that I love watching. This isn't the guy that you love watching. Just as simple as that. We all know that. The guy that we all love to watch is, you know, going out there and striking them out left and right and getting guys to look foolish at times. And there's just not any of that. The contact is hard. The contact is loud. You can see, I mean, he was trying his hardest to put everything in, you know, everything behind everything that he's got. He was really working there. It was the grand slam to Pavin Smith in that inning. He's throwing 96 miles an hour, and you could tell that he's giving it all he can. He's emptying the tank there. I've said it a lot now recently. They do not need Justin Verlander to be ace Justin Verlander to win in the postseason. They really don't even honestly probably need him. I can't. It's a little unfair to like completely write him off if you don't need him. But right now in a short series, the wild card round where they're probably going to end up playing, or the ALDS, which is shorter as well. If they get to an ALDS after playing the wild card round, they're probably going to need him. They're probably going to have to give him a start. And the leash will be extremely short. You could say that that's malpractice, you know, setting yourself up for a disaster there if you did go out there and start him. And I get that. I get that mindset. But we're watching the end of a Hall of Fame run here in Houston. Astros tonight, by the way, fall to or go back to 4.5 game lead in the American League West because the Mariners whooped up on the Cardinals earlier today. The Astros' success in the postseason is going to come down to the rotation of Framber Valdez, Hunter Brown, Yusei Kikuchi, Bernal Blanco. They're going back to the 6-man rotation here because they're after tomorrow's day off. They're going to start another stretch of 16 days in a row of playing baseball games. You know, it's just it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out down the stretch. He could have some good starts, I'm sure. I mean, realistically, he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's probably not going to pitch till Sunday again against the Angels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then Saturday against the Angels. He's going to pitch maybe 2 starts straight against the Angels. That's going to help. And then he could start in the Cleveland series. He's always pitched well in Cleveland. He's got 3 starts left to prove that we should feel differently about him. But I just don't know if what we've seen out of Justin Verlander, what is going to change this quickly. If he could go back to spring training next year, and he's going, like I've always said, the greats like him that have had the careers that they've had, when they're late in their 40s, they're still going to find starts where they go out there and just go off. You know, it happens. It always happens. I think of Randy Johnson pitching for the Giants. I know he had some starts in there, maybe even was 300th win when he's with the Giants, where like he was just dominant. That's going to happen. for Verlander occasionally. It's just not going to be the norm. And maybe that's okay. I would just like to watch a baseball game with him and not sit here and have to do the whole, oh, God, how are they going to get through this thing tonight? And it's also a little bit sad to me. And I get he's going to come back out next year probably and play again. It hits that stage of a big league career where you're holding on and playing for numbers. He's not getting to 300 wins. That went out the door when he had Tommy John. But they really, it gets a little bit sad, I should say, that if you hit that spot of a career where you start to see the decline in front of your eyes and the player holds on. And to an extent, he is holding on. Sometimes it's good to know when to walk away. And if he reaches the end of the season, it's more of this. Maybe it's time to walk away. We'll see. Not a fun night. I would have loved to have a positive show tonight because we had such a positive show earlier today with the Locked On Texans postcast. But that did not happen. Let's talk about some of the guys in the lineup tonight. Let's talk about what they did overall in this series. I guess try to bring a little positivity back because they did win a series this weekend. It just, stinks when you lose the final one. We'll do that here in just a brief second on the Locked On Astros postcast. You have been hearing a lot about FanDuel. That's right. FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Well, we have something a little different for you now. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV and YouTube. Then, with a YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. If that's not enough, FanDuel has something special for our listeners this weekend. Be sure to check out FanDuel's Profit Boost in the app and use it for FanDuel's Double Your Winnings for all Sunday, September 8th, pre-game moneyline bets. Profit Boost will be live starting Friday the 6th. Go view your account now to learn about your boost. Just visit FanDuel.com to download America's #1 sportsbook. Locked On Astros postcast, Sunday night edition. Thanks for joining us. A sour end to a series that the Astros won overall, taking 2 out of 3 against the Arizona Diamondbacks, but they just could not get over the hump in this one and bring it back at all because they got put into a big old massive hole thanks to Justin Verlander. If you're looking for this show in its podcast form, by the way, I always like to remind you that you can find it anywhere that you get your podcast. Go and search for Locked On Astros. It's always free. And when you go search for that, you will get this show and the Locked On Astros show. Brett and Eric doing that show daily throughout the week. They do a great job. Make sure you go subscribe to their YouTube channel. And then, of course, if you're new here, we're on the climb to 2,000 people. 2,000 subscribers is happening. You guys can pour on in here and help us out get to that 2,000 mark. But we're on the move. We're less than 80 to go now. You guys have been hitting the button today. This channel, as I'd like to remind you, not just the Astros. We also have the Texans, the Rockets, the Cougs. The Rockets will be back, next month? So we got Cougs football going on right now. We've got the Texans. They started the regular season today with a victory. And, well, that was very good. If you want to go back and watch that postcast, it is available to you on this channel. Starting next weekend, when the Texans play the Chicago Bears Sunday Night Football, we'll get the flip of this weekend. We had the Texans early today, Astros late. Next week, and we'll get Astros early, Texans late. I think, yeah, that's right. Sunday Night Football next Sunday. Wade Smith will join me, our very first Locked On Texans postcast with Wade. He'll be with us every single week on those shows for the rest of the season. Looking forward to doing those with him. Would like to look forward to something positive from the Astros tonight, but unfortunately did not happen. They get smacked around a little bit, 12-6, excuse me. Oh, can't short them a run. 77-66 now in the season of the Astros. The guys in the lineup, there's not a lot to write home about. Altuve had a couple of hits tonight, but struck out there with the bases loaded. You don't need that. He slammed his helmet down and everything. Not happy about it. Bregman hits a home run. Tucker, just one hit on the night, reached base another time with the walk. The guy I think that stands out that I wanted to give a little bit of love to, again in a sour end to what was a overall good series. I say overall good series. It's not an overall good series when you get smacked around in the last one, but the overall result was fine that you took 2 out of 3. Chaz McCormick pounded out 3 hits tonight, 3 singles. And I think there's one important factor with what we've seen out of Chaz in the last couple of days. He has found his way to not only getting some hits, but getting those hits by pulling the baseball a little bit and really turning on some fastballs from right-handed pitching. I think that's important. Is he going to play for them every day? No. But like the outfield is still in such flux. Can Kyle Tucker play the outfield? We're apparently going to see at some point this week. Hopefully he does. If he goes out there and they realize that he can't necessarily handle it on an everyday basis, then you're going to be back in this position where you need outfielders. They've had Ben Gamble come in. He's done very well for this team so far since he's become an Astro. They've had the likes of Jason Hayward in the mix. He's obviously not been anything that's incredible to this point. He might be one of those guys that you just kind of forget played here later on down the years, but it is what it is. But if Chaz can hit some lefties occasionally, and if Chaz can do a little bit of that, that'd be, a really nice positive for this baseball team. I would love to see that continue to happen for the Astros. If it can, then great. If not, not the end of the world. Let's just, again, hope for that to be there was some sort of positive, thought tonight. I think it was that Chaz pulled off a 3-hit night, and you feel good about that. So wanted to, again, give him a little bit of love for what he did and hope that there can be a snowball effect. Some good swings recently, some big moments for him. Big moments from the standpoint of this guy's had just an absolutely atrocious season, and he needs anything that's positive, and he's had some of those in recent games. So happy for Chaz in those moments. Let's go ahead and take a look at the week ahead for the Astros. They have those pesky Oakland Athletics coming to town. The not last place Oakland Athletics. I know that you guys are really not keeping up with what Oakland's got going on, but the non-last place Oakland Athletics. We'll take a look at that and what it's going to mean for the Astros, how they got to bounce back from this to really go out there and do their thing over the next few days when Oakland comes to town starting on Tuesday. We'll do all that next as we start to wrap up the Locked On Astros postcast. Passion, drive, and patience. Formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. because of the eBay Motors. You're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need, the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay guaranteed fit. Only available to U.S. customers. Locked On Astros Postcast. For a few more minutes here on the Sunday, thank you for joining us. I am your host, of course, Michael Connor. It's off to bed. Got a big day for me tomorrow, and I'm glad that we don't have a baseball game to talk about tomorrow. Not very often that I, don't enjoy talking sports with you guys on a nightly basis, but I got a big day tomorrow. And, we'll come home and relax is going to be nice. Probably end up mowing my grass because it needs to be mowed. So that's what I'll do with my night off tomorrow night. Hope you guys are going to enjoy your night off. We're going to have 16 days in a row with the Astros playing again here soon. So, it's going to get busy. It's going to get a little bit crazy. Strap in, folks. Hope you're ready for it. We'll see how the Astros, if they're ready for it, over these next few days as well, because it's going to kick off this stretch, by the way. Let's just run through the teams that they'll face in this. They got Oakland for 3, then they head out west for 3 in L.A., or I shouldn't say L.A., 3 in Anaheim against the Angels, 3 in San Diego against the Padres. That is a road trip I would have absolutely loved to make. Then they'll come back home for their final homestand of the year, Angels for 4, and then the Mariners for 3 before they get their last day off Thursday the 26th before they head to Cleveland. What could be an important series, but the way that the Astros are, just kind of up and down with it recently, might not be. I don't know. I mean, the Astros are what currently? They're 4 games behind. They're 4 games behind the Guardians for the second best division record, division winner record. They're able to pull that off. They could get the bye through the first. This team really needs. I think of all the teams the Astros have had, and really since they've started this, this team could benefit from it more than any of the other ones. So hopefully they can go through this stretch of games where, again, Oakland, the Angels, San Diego will be tough because they're playing for something. Then Seattle's going to come in and they're still going to be, probably within 5 games, I'd imagine. And that series could really push them maybe back into it or end it. We'll see what happens there. But Oakland, the next 3 days is the thing you got to watch for. By the way, for this channel, we will for sure have a show Tuesday night, Wednesday night. There is, I will say Tuesday night will probably start not exactly after the game ends. I would say give me 20 minutes, I would think, for that one. I'm just planning ahead. And then Thursday, day game 110, my schedule it's not going to be conducive that day, unfortunately, for a day game show. So we will more than likely, I'm not going to say for sure, but I would say more likely than not, we will not have a show for Thursday's day game. We'll be here all weekend, though, when they're playing out there in Anaheim. Late night, after dark editions for those. Pitching matchups for this series. Spencer Arrighetti needs to bounce back in a big way our Tuesday night. He's going to get the ball for the Astros up against Osvaldo Bido for the A's. You don't know who he is? He's got a 5-3 record this year with a 3.41. Arrighetti 7-12 with a 4.82. ERA came back down a little bit because they knocked some of those runs off the other day because they changed a play to an error on Jeremy Pena, and it made him unearned runs. Hunter Brown will get the ball Tuesday, 11-7, 3.41 up against J.P. Sears. He's 11-10 with a 4.34. And then Thursday's day game, that is a day game special. Framber Valdez pitching the day game. That game will be 2 hours. If that happens, I'm definitely not going to be able to do the show. Framber 14-6, 297 up against Joey Estes, who is 6-7 with a 4.46 ERA. Like I said, we'll be here with you for guaranteeing you the first 2 games of this series. The day game on Thursday. I'll keep you updated. I will keep you updated. I'll post onto the community page here on the channel, let you guys know for sure. But I would imagine that I will not be able to do that show on a Thursday. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday night. Thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We'll talk to you Tuesday night after Astros and A's right here on the Locked On Astros Postcast.